Alright, after the Aragorn playthrough, I feel like I want to do something a bit more challenging. And it was recommended to do the King Thor one. Also, it's fun. So let's see what the description is. Come on, game. Thor, son of Dane, son of Nain, king under the mountain, is amongst the richest rulers of Middle-earth, holder of the Arkenstone. Thor, only centuries prior, led his people back to the lonely mountain of Erebor, and his friendship with the Northmen of Dale has brought prosperity beyond imagining to both parties. Yet Thor's love of gold has grown strong, and foreboding whispers come from the north. Thor's father was slain by a drake, and there are many that still reside in the great mountains. Shall Thor succumb to the same fate? Let's find out. Come on. Did it freeze? Oh. Okay. All right. First, I'm going to go into crafting. Yeah. Get that. Stewardship. Let's get our people squared away. Not that. That. Alright, so we got, yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. You are not very good. We'll be swapping you out. And, oof, that's not very good either, but whatever. Oh well. Actually, let me see if I could. You're a guest. Can I get someone? Range patrol. Nope. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Let us check out what we got. We got the Ring of the Longbeards. Do not trust your sense. The magic of the Ring of Power changes according to the bearer's race. Huh. 7 for the Dwarf Lords and their halls of stone. Ra and Eregion, the 7 were counted amongst the great rings, and as such, bound to the power of the One Ring. What the original purpose was has long been lost to time, but when worn by dwarves, they grant long life and great riches, but also greatly increase the greed of their bearer. Holy crap, that is really good. Uh, they were 7, one for the head of each dwarf tribe, and though some hold that they were gifted but to the dwarves by their elven friends, others believe that it was the Dark Lord who granted them in order to control and corrupt the children of Al. It is rumored that Celebrimbor himself bestowed the rings of the Longbeards upon Durin III. The heirloom has been passed down through the kings of Durin's folk. The key of Erebor was a small, curious-looking silver key with a long barrel. It was used to open the secret entrance to the Lonely Mountain, which appeared only in Durin's day. Map of Thor. The map of Thor was a map of the Lonely Mountain, which showed the secret entrance to the mountain. It was given to Thrain II by his father Thror, and then later given to Gandalf by Thrain after his capture and imprisonment in the dungeon of Dol Guldur. Gandalf then gifted this map alongside the key of Erebor to Thorin Oakenshield, who used it in his quest to reclaim Erebor. And let's see what we got. The Royal Court. Arkenstone. The Arkenstone was a great jewel discovered beneath the roots of the Lonely Mountain during the reign of Thrain I and prized by his descendants as the heart of the mountain. It's going to be right by me. And this is the banner of the Durin house, a symbol of authority, the family and its scions. Just hang those up. Okay, so we got that squared away. Let's see. So I've got Arken Halls, the Great Foundries, and we got this. Golden Deeps of Erebor. Gold beyond measure, beyond sorrow. Oh, that's pretty nice. Gold beyond measure. Wait, is this? Okay, so that's not unique to this. Okay. Let's see what we got. Unify the Durin folk. Ever since the Durin of Death was found in Khazad-dûm, descendants have claimed the mantle of lordship over all Longbeards. However, it was not practical for them to directly rule the far-flung realms of their people, and as such left them to their own devices on a day-to-day basis. Only when there was a great need would they gather and act under the direct command of the king. The Longbeards settled many areas throughout the ages, such as the Iron Hills, the Grey Mountains, and even as far as Thorns Halls. If these distant regions could all be brought under the one banner, the dwarves of Durin folk would not only match their forefathers, but surpass them. King under the mountain shall be brought under one banner. Oh. So basically, Yell Mountains is far, by the way. It's like all the way south. Don't know if we're going to be able to do that one. Reclaim Khazad-dûm. The world is gray and the mountain is old, but the Longbeards have not forgotten their ancestral home. Since our exile after the death of Durin VI by Durin's Bane, Moria has lain silent, desecrated by the forces of evil. The time has come to march into the deep, rekindle the ashen cold forges, and permanently reestablish our hold, so our people may once again traverse the halls of Dwardelf and gaze into the mirror. Restore Thakagund. Through fire and war, the war camp of Thakagund was lost. After the War of the Dwarves and Dragons, the Grey Mountains were largely abandoned, and Thakagund was left to ruin. Later infested by goblins, it seemed any hope of restoring was lost, yet now with the hold finally in our position, we can see about restoring it. Okay. Forge a dragon-slain artifact. Our armory lacks true precautions. We do not have enough weapons on standby designed to cut down the dragons of this world. We should bring the smiths together to fashion one more of these weapons so that we can protect our realm in the event a dragon attacks or takes our mountain from us, like they have before. So I just need a Bloomery Forge, or I don't even know what that is. In the days after the Great Eruption, TA 1004, Thrar the Fifth, the Rebuilder, safeguarded the survivors Barazambul, where they could recover. Now, generations later, the dwarves have returned after righting Mabla-Doom of its orcish corruption. The vile seed of the Ulkash has been torn from the caldera and cast into the fiery depths, clearing the last stain of the usurper's rule. The shattered channels of the great forges have been cleared, and recut, guided the mountains fire once more. With the rightful rulers restored, the High Forge stands as the first true proof that Malbadoom lives again. I feel like that's probably the south, and nothing else too crazy. So I'm going to get on that, though. Because in this, we do eventually get attacked by Smaug. Thor, son of Dane, son of Nain, rules from his mighty throne beneath Erebor as king under the mountain, in which above his head is set the Arkenstone, heart of the mountain. Prosperity was not always with the king. When he was young, the war of the Door of the Dragons saw his father and brother slain by a cold drake in the Grey Mountains. And Thor and his people went south to Loy Mountain. Here he became king of the mountain, a title held by his ancestors, and since then his realm and people have grown rich and prosperous beyond imagination. His people's friendship with the Northmen of Dale and the river Selduin have made them both wealthy, and Thor's treasuries overflowing with gold and jewels are renowned throughout the north. Yet all is not perfect. Thor's love of gold is great, perhaps too great. He spends sleepless nights in his treasuries gazing upon his riches, and they have taken his heart. The fame of his prosperity may haunt Thor. Dark whispers come from the north, where gold-hungry drakes still dwell in the dark and barren places. May Durin's folk prosper. The children of Mahal. I was born among the children of Mahal, adopted children of Eru. The steadfast dwarves, our fathers, shaped us in the dark times, and as such, we are hardier than men and more resistant to illness and corruption. We are long-lived and slow to bloom. We consider our youth to be no more than children until the age of their majority at 40, and that is then appropriate to marry before the age of 70. Few among us wed, and those who do only once. Dwarves of both genders wear beards since birth, and a dwarf without a beard is subject to much shame and mockery. Kuzdul, our sacred language devised by the maker himself, is never spoken in front of non-dwarves and reserved for ancient lore and solemn gatherings. In everyday life, we adopt the language of our closest neighbors and business partners. Though we do not fear the sun like the orcs, we are most comfortable beneath the ground, where we carve halls into living rock. Many of our ancestral homes have been destroyed, and now it is time to reclaim them. Barak Khazad e Menu. What's this? Do you have another? Yeah, let's see what we got. A healthy rivalry between meddlesome fighters is not to be expected, but the growing discord between Bari and Nar is starting the mood at the core. Bari is widely regarded to be more skilled, but Nar clearly takes issue with the assertion. In the middle of the audience, the later bursts into my throne room and clutching his sword hilt cries, "Bari! only one of us can claim to be the Oozbad's most skilled companion. Meet me outside and I will settle the question. My reply is frankly, I would cut you to pieces where you stand if it were not for the presence of the Oozbad. You're Frank Churl? Apologize and I may spare your life. I better act quickly if this escalation is to be halted. Take their swords and give them training blades. Okay. Let's skip lesson. I'm going to click on that. Alright, so that's done. Keep it moving. Very well, you know what's best. Exotic arms, along with their strange goods, merchants bring tall tales from distant lands, unverifiable, full of wonder. A group of Dalringi peddlers purport to have brought coined objects, said to have come from the faraway court of a great ruler, Aaron Terlin of Drael, no less. Gnupa, the leading trader, grins darkly. This unique weapon could be yours for a special price, of course. Great Oozbad. A likely yarn indeed, if only I had some way to verify the Hawkery story. Nah, that's too much, bro. Excessive taxes, of course. Negotiate alliance. Oops. All right. Foreign merchants. Oh, what's this? As I survey my core, I notice the steward Bori is in lively conversation with one of the foreign guests, Angamar. Curious, I approach the pair. Oozbad Thor, I represent the interesting mercantile group of my Darlingi kinsmen, who see great potential in establishing a merchant community of Darlingi here in the throne of Erebor. Steward, we must not favor foreigners over our own people. Protest. Who are the Dalarangi? I'm going to pick the gold. That's a homage taking the knee. No one cares about that. Let's see what we got here. Legendary. Usually if you see legendary, you get some good stuff. And oh, you're not legendary, so I don't care. Nope. Generous Oozbad, let me express all my gratitude and bring you very good tidings, Only exclaims while hurrying to me. I've been thoroughly enjoying the quarters you have assigned me. They are spacious so I can pace around while thinking and work undisturbed at leisure. The view of the garden is breathtaking. It's breathtakingly inspiring, and the bed, oh, the bed, is so comfortable. I feel like I'm sleeping on a cloud. In fact, I have the inspiration to make your scale armor even better just came to me while sleeping. I need to hurry back to work. I'm really happy to hear that. Inspiration request. My companion only insists that to make the armor suitable for a Oozbad of my glory, he will need more funds. Scale armor is not cheap to make. The material alone, this is not the same to be frugal. We'll spend the money. Oh, man. King of the Mountain, my companion only waves me over with a wide grin, gesturing toward a covered armor stand. I've toiled over the forge many days and nights, but finally my work is done. With a flourish, he rips the fabric covering away, and my eyes grow wide. The armor is constructed from masterfully crafted steel scales. They are fastened to a backing of leather. The set includes a nasal helmet and a mail coif, padded with lamb's wool. The whole armor has been plated with a thick layer of gold. That's definitely for Thror. Nice. Let me put that on real quick. Because now it's my prowess at. It's decent for Lord of the Rings mod, but you know. Cutting corners. One more time. not too worried about helping them because this whole place is going to be gone. Word of ice. I saunter between the I saunter between the market stalls of Throne of Erebor, a heavy pouch tugging at my belt. How do I make this coin work for me? So I admire the wares of local smith, goods, steel, a sound investment. My son and hair, Oozden Thrain, suddenly appears at my side. A word of advice, father. Have a look at the jeweler's stall over there. Their wares might be simple, but their potential is great. I'm going to turn to quick profit. Once, because like I said, all this is going to be gone eventually. My treasures bring with gold and silver, and all expenses are cared for. As a wealthy lord, I am expected to offer patronage to some kind of artist or scholar. As luck would have it, 3 potential candidates just arrived in Durin's folk, but do any of them impress me? Growing beautiful gardens. That scares me by... Nope. I'm greedy, so I don't care. Confirming the suspicions of some, the great Haradrim realm of the Harwan has begun to assault upon Gondor, likely seeking to wrest the long-contested lands of Harondor from the Gondorians. The invasion comes as little surprise to many, as there has been rumors that great armies and fleets had long been mustering, readying themselves for the great assault. Whether expected or not, however, Gondor is likely to face a challenging fight against the invaders who seek to assail Gondor by 2 avenues. The bulk of the Haradrim army shall proceed via land from the south, while the corsairs of Umbar have launched their own attack on the Gondorian coastline, likely desiring to capitalize upon an opportunity rather than out of inherent jealousy. May the valor of Dunedain prevail. So let me also take a look at my character real quick. Got to get a thumbnail. Honestly, for someone that's King of the Lonely Mountain, that's not that impressive. But whatever. Alright, so our armory lacks true precaution. I read that. So I'm going to select one lance bolt. I believe that is dwarf. But we're going to go with the black arrow because that's the one that killed Smaug. Start the forges. I stand at the head of the table with the plans before me, brought by the smiths and Thor of Erebor. The plans I ordered to be prepared, the jewel of our armory, a dragon-slaying artifact, a black arrow. Said to be both incredibly light and viciously sharp. The smiths claim it could pierce the hide of a dragon like paper. Although I hope never to have to test this claim, it is always possible it will be required. That's pretty good. It's a lot of money, but we're going to need it down the road. Let's get back to it. I need a hero. A new guest has recently come to my court, a silver-tongued poet of some local repute. My lord, as the storytellers of old sat at the knee of ancient warlords, so do I, Gortrib, hope to find employment under your protection. Please allow me to demonstrate my worth. I could dedicate my next work to you, perhaps. Grand epics are my purvey. Great Uzbad, of which hero would you have me sing? Why, that would be myself, of course. I have neither time nor gold. I don't have the gold to waste. And she's dead. That's a cool background. What we got here? It's legendary. Because I know for later we're going to need to get special artifacts, so by funding these things we might luck out. Time's come for me to depart upon my venture. My Uzbad, my venomous fisher, on bows as well as he can, while weighted down by heavy bags. Before I leave, please tell me, is there anything specific you want me to keep an eye peeled out for my journey? I want to possess something truly unique. My Uzbad are the smelliest creatures I have encountered. As a child, I dreamt of the green and pleasant meadows, but I'm convinced half of this world is made of mud. If you are gracious, please send word to call me back. Man, no, I paid you all that money. You're going to be out there doing that. Come on. My daughter. Let me go put that in Royal Court. And brass. Well, I mean, every little bit helps, right? Your glory is known wide. Someone else heard me be watched. Huh. New little castle. Accusation of witchcraft. Bloodstained cloth, crow's feathers, strange smelling concoctions. This is the evidence presented to me by a group of commoners from great foundries as proof that Ingva has been practicing witchcraft in her hut on the outskirts of their dwelling. The commoners claim her evil work must be the cause of their poor harvest, calling for execution. The evidence to release her. Deceitful, sadistic, cynical. Well, you know, sperm. Sounds like a witch to me. Farewell, you know what's best, so I guess my wife's not cheating on me. Taking a knee. Ooh. Highness, my beneficial announced his arrival in a surprisingly loud voice. He probably holds up a package securely wrapped in cloth. I return from Endelwath with the artifact for my journey. I take the bulky bundle in my hand and loosen the cord before peeling away the layers of fabric. Inside is an artifact unlike anything I've seen. On spot by this heavy pure gold tark is a symbol of the status among the Dunlending tribes. This particular one, finely crafted and engraved, must have belonged to a powerful chieftain who must be missing it in his barrow. That's pretty nice. We will... Oh wait, oh, never mind, that's a court artifact. I guess we'll put it there. Kind of figured that'd be more of a... I'll sponsor another one because then I can give it to my son. Because he is a beefy lad. King of the Mountain, look at the metal. I have never seen such fine quality before. My companion Hawkesbury breaks away from our market procession to accost the merchant selling the coveted item. Ecstatic over his find. With this, my project could reach new heights. I could create something truly marvelous. Please, Uzbad, bestow this gift upon me. Absolute guard sees that. What Harvest needs. Oh, we got plenty of gold. Alright, calm down. Jesus, come on, dude. Oh, man. Let's have a party. Lower that stress because I thought about it for a second, but I don't need the prestige. We'll take the prestige. Big baller. No, I'm not toasting anyone. We're just gonna speed through this because it's just, you know, typical. Let's do it. There's no need for such dedication. Mahal. Welcome, friends. That. Man, for a party, I thought this was supposed to... That was terrible. I figured that would have helped out a little bit. What about a hunt? Can I do a hunt? Probably not. Nope. Well, crap, dude. Let's see if grooming a beard. Okay, that worked. Peaceful monsters shouted by Hawksby, yelling at his storms out in the courtyard. On quickly bows by step, but he sees. Please take some sense to Hawksby, trying to help him since I have some experience that may improve the work. Leave alone. And I'm going to indulge in some pipe weed. I sit back in my chair, my trusty pouch of Westman's weed beside me, and I light my pipe. I already feel much more relaxed. The air is warm. The tones are calm as I relax on a stone bench. I notice someone approaching. What the hell? To the armory. Ah, very fine, my liege. Could I use its metal? You're just having a look. Just having a look? Come on, dude. Inspiration flawed jewels. Distracted by affairs of court, I let news from my armor Hogbeat be delayed more and more. Now weeks of work on my scale armor has been wasted, and it seems it was not entirely to blame. I was not. I am told that Hogbeat's constant mood swings, the worst of which undo all his work. In a frenzy of self-doubt and anger, at least I demand that he was brought before me. I know you're doing your best. Leave this place at once. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Oh, okay, that's not bad. Mine bad. My companion waves me over with a grin, gesturing towards. I have 12 on the forge for many days and nights, but finally work is done with the floor. She rips the fabric covering away. My eyes grow wide. The armor is constructed from masterly crafted steel scales that are fastened. Okay, same thing. All right, pause real quick, just make sure nothing bad happens. So is that the 8, 9, 12, 8, 9, 12? Okay, so as I stated, no artifact. We want to give you an artifact. Gift artifact. Yep. Oh, fuck off. Come on, bro. Oh, Jesus. Speeches. Maybe a mining expedition would help. Ah, for this goal, he should like that, right? Average, poor. Jeez. It has been a long, arduous journey, but we finally made it. We lost our way once or twice. The whole map's not accounting for rock slides and other shifts in terrain, but nothing we could handle. Humble hearty fire has already begun to blaze in the center of the camp, tents rising up. It will be good to not have to move them again soon as the last of the tents are erected, stakes digging deep into the rock ground, and the expedition members begin to gather around. A low hum of chatter filling the air. Quickly finding a sturdy box, I get at the top of it. A quick, sharp whistle pierces the air, and we swiftly the expedition members quiet down and give me their attention. Here are the precipice of the real work. And how I speak may well set the mood of the rest of the expedition. All eyes are on me, awaiting instruction. After taking a fortifying breath, I begin. Motivate them. Oh, let's drop the strategy and search the caverns. Herbal and I are working hard to clear a new pathway into uncharted territory as, with a sudden crash, the cave's walls before us collapse beneath our pickaxe. Our excitement is soon replaced by shock as a menacing roar erupts from the darkness of a newly opened passage. We back away a few paces, but it's too late. A monster emerges from the dark, bearing its fangs and letting out another roar. It seems we must either fight or see that we get away as quickly as possible. I'm greedy, so he would fight. Mining away was monotonous work, and such work can cause the mind to wander and simply move off muscle memory while the mind soars, so it wasn't a shock that my mind began to trail off while I was wandering down a cavern. Fortunate circumstances that led me to completely forget to mark the way I'd come from. My thought continues to trail off until I spot a faint glimmer ahead of me. With my curiosity piqued, I march forward until the glimmer expands and consumes the entire room. From under blindness, my eyes widen as my eyes fully comprehend just what I was seeing. The chamber was utterly filled with precious gems. Rubies burned like red-hot sun. Sapphires glowed like the moon in the sky, and diamonds twinkled like the stars above, combined with a multitude of enormous stalactites and stalagmites, which stand as evidence of the virgin state of this chamber. I'm filled with a childlike glee as the prospective wealth in this cavern. My problem was how I get there. I practically dozed off during the stroll and have no real indication of how to find my way back. I could always call for help, but I would likely have to abandon the chamber to get a spot where the expedition would hear my calls. Alternatively, I could try to trace my steps back to my companions, though that runs the risk of me getting even more lost. You'll be able to find your party. Let's try and retrace our steps. I close my eyes and take a deep breath. I could do this. My eyes once again open again. I look about the chamber. I had something valuable to come back to. Nothing was going to keep me from excavating this chamber. I held my torch as high as I start forward into the darkness of the tunnels with the glimmering cave left behind me. The minutes turned to hours. Soon I recognized familiar rock formations, and ahead voices and more lights become audible. A sigh of relief escapes me as I hurry toward him. My companions had started to worry about me, but fortunately I had been gone long enough for them to abandon their work. However, haven't been gone. Moreover, when I described the beautiful chamber, I've discovered they were eagerly agreed to follow. Once again, I retraced my steps to the chamber, ready for us to begin excavating. Time to get to work. Extra 200 gold. As I led our expedition through the labyrinth depths of the cavern, a spirited group of miners approached, their face filled with challenge. With a gleam of determination in their eyes, they dare me to prove my mining prowess, a test of leadership and skill. The echoes of their challenge reverberate through the tunnels, and soon many other members of my expedition down their tools to gather around me. I'll show you what I'm made of. Amidst the echoing expanse of the sprawling mines, I find myself in a state of measured satisfaction as I praise the results of my mining expedition. While not overwhelming success, our efforts have borne fruit, yielding a respectable cache of material. The costs incurred in the venture have been covered with a modest surplus to my name. It is a satisfactory outcome, though not one that will have bards composing epic ballads in our honor. In the depths of earth, where fortune is often as conspicuous as the shifting shadows, I have found a measure of prosperity. I mean, that's not bad. And that was even better. Look at that money. Damn. I'm just ready for Smaug to attack. Well, wait, let's take a look at the units. Oh. Those are pretty good. I feel like they might have nerfed, because I remember these guys being way stronger when I first played this mod. Oh. Very confident. Get out of here. Taking the knee, thank you. Every move will be watched. Oh, I probably should, what are you? Okay, so you're that. Well, I might as well educate you. Can I send you off to college? Guess not. Become a permanent fixture of my court. There's a banquet wolfing diner thing. Blah 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 blah. Who are you? Umbarian? What the? Get this bitch out of here. Come closer. I have a story I wish to tell you. My wife says, beckoning me towards the bonfire. The story of when I became from the goon. Yes, my friend. Rikar narrows her eyes in consideration and continues to tell the story as the flames from the back bonfire lick the night sky. Those around you are your friends, your advisors, even your rivals. They are the ones who matter. Keep them close. Your stories always make me feel better. Raise that stress down. The sign of a weak soul. Very well, you know what's best. I'll travel there myself personally. What did you find? Burn the hell pit to the ground. Foul stench, pile of corpses decay makes it impossible to tell how they die, but even the least rotting corpses are without obvious marks of killing. It is unceremonious, but the fire does what needs to be done. I watch as the flames consume the long abandoned houses, but not for long. I have seen everything. It's time to return home. Sorry, I'm trying to speed through this stuff because it's like just sitting here waiting for Smaug to eventually come. There was a strange occurrence in court today. A dwarf bearing strange heritages approaches and gives the proper honor before relaying his message. He has come from the arid Mithir, where he represents the long-lost Longbeard's hold of Nordabad. This causes some pause amongst the chatter at court, as many believe the house of Goran to have fallen long ago to the drakes and goblins. The minister continues, stating that Nordabad has finally regained access to the surface and is requesting assistance in their quest to reclaim arid Mithrin. The House of Goran has sworn fealty to the House of Durin for centuries now, and so I am left with the question of whether I should offer assistance in return for a renewal of this oath, or if I can really afford to spare the assistance. I'm pretty sure we can spare 200 gold, my boy. Mason dealings. I'll strike the deal myself. Surely I'm pretty sure it's about to happen for the attack. I'll relax in the atmosphere. Such bravery is commendable. There we go, finally. In the night, I awake suddenly, stirred by the sounds of chaos, and the dale ring bells wildly. Fellow dwarves rush around me, faces pale, and I am grabbed before I even know what is happening. Amidst the clamor, I make out a single word: dragon. There is screaming, distant, faint, but it is drowned out as my ears are consumed by the hideous screech of flame. I rush to the great windows, possessed by shock, and I see only billowing black smoke and snarling red fire. It is all-consuming, all of it. The shadow of great wings fall upon me. I stumble. There is a flash of scale, red and golden. Yet before I get a full view of the dragon, I am pulled aside by my guards. Run! Run for your lives. Oh my god! I thought I was going to be able to take all that money. Man, well, 2,000 gold. It's still a decent chunk, but... to the shock of many Erebor and Dale, among the mightiest and most prosperous realms in all of Ravonian, have fallen to dragonfire. Long had the dwarves of the North been of Dale grown rich, with the prized Arkenstone being the heirloom of Durin's line, and a symbol of the wealth of Limount. Yet the riches of the two peoples would be their undoing, for dragons covet gold with a dark and fierce desire. As a hurricane from the north descended, Smaug the Golden, last and greatest of the fire drakes of the north, and his wrath neither the Dalemen nor dwarves could withstand. Many of the inhabitants of both realms have been killed, with swaths of the warriors sent against the dragon being utterly incinerated. Both Dale and Erebor have been destroyed in the attack, with the survivors fleeing into the wilderness. After being left no other choice, as Smaug rests upon the mountains of gold, much of the Northlands now reels from the event. The fire was red, its flaming spread. The escape. I feel the heat of the flame, and I see the shadow upon the floors. But I stand. The men, women, and children of Erebor rush past me, but I heft my axe and stand. Fear and adrenaline course through my heart. My retinue and I slowly step back. The dragon roars and fire fills the corridor far ahead of me. Behind me is a secret exit, a back door even so close yet so far. Ever so close yet so far. Someone must hold off the dragons if we are to escape. Yet before I may even give an order, there is a roar in the hall. Not one of a dragon nor a savage beast, but one of a company of dwarves. Around me rush countless of them, armor shimmering in the light of the fire, and axes swinging with the fury of the sons of Durn. They rush forth, eyes alight with rage. They will not return. I gulp and turn, and as I close the door behind me, I hear their rageful screams. The wind moans in the night. My home is lost. The aftermath. The fire roars upon heights, and the wind moans in the night. The mountain is shrouded in smoke under the pale moon. Only as I stand far from the desolation do I finally take in the horror. The valley is bathed in scarlet and gold, dreadful and bright and hideous, and black smoke smothers the stars. Upon the high hills are the black shapes of the trees, tall towers set aflame. Dale, the great city, is too consumed for its roofs and houses burn, and its walls are laid bare, and its people huddle under the shadow of night. Last of all, I look upon the dragon, its shape visible as it flies among the moon, or against the moon. I clutch my axe for a moment, feeling burning rage and sorrow with tiredness. The bells ring still faintly, so faintly. We must away ere break the day. You are banished. You're established an adventure camp. Everything falls to roar. Time has passed. No, I'm going to keep going. As I watch most of the survivors of Smaug's attack move east to seek refuge in Iron Hills, a difficult decision lies before me. Should I join the other survivors and with head bowed and plead for help and aid from my dwarf brethren, or shall I lead my followers through the dangers of the wilderness to seek a brighter future? I must consider my options. Far in the west, the realm of the dwarves, the Blue Mountains, live in prosperity, and though their mansions are a far cry from the great realms of Nogrod or Belgost, the realms are mighty still and far from most danger. And it would make a perfect place for my kin to live and prosper, but the road there will be long and beset by perils. Yet my heart calls to a different place altogether. Long have I dreamt and thought of the splendor of Khazad-dûm, its golden roofs and silver floors and mighty pillars carved from living rock, shimmering in the undimmed light of lamps hewn from crystal. It has fallen, yes, and many would say that go there would be utterly foolish. To Dunland, then Khazad-dûm. Let me... Who are you? I don't think I need a caravan master because we have our own. Hit the road. You useless bomb it. Stop. Alright, so we're gonna want that good safety. So we got a second. Personal physician. I don't need a stooge. Bodyguard. And we're going to be... Yeah, swords for hire. Let's actually... I really want that last one, but I can probably get that from doing something else. But let's go into learning. All right, let's speed this up, boys. My lord, this bridge has an ill reputation. A trickster spirit lives below. My kinsman Fundin cries out, surely it shall come up upon us or curse us from as we pass. My party members start to whisper amongst themselves. Some invoke the name of Mahal for protection. Unfortunately, the bridge is the only safe place to cross for miles. There are no such things. We must pray to drive the spirit away. Yeah. 3 days ain't that bad. Friends on low place. Oh. Father, cries my daughter as she runs up to me. I want you to meet someone. The girl turns to present her another child, flinging her arms wide as though presenting Mahal's gift to the faithful. Especially my new playmate. I think you've made a friend for life there, daughter. The blessed armor of Mahal. Meh. Come on. That's pretty good. You know, you can be a cranky grump or whatever. I don't care. Listen, smoke some weed. There we go. The Sorcerer of Asbag. Sorcery. He will repent. This is really none of my concern. Well, it's a goblin, so... Kill him. Man! Sure, we can treat them. We can that. Let's do that one. Where you at, old man? Food supply. I was wandering around my camp, inspecting my followers and supplies when a familiar voice calls from behind. I turn around to see a smiling barber clutching a bag of fruit. My lord, I managed to procure some supplies from the locals. Thank you. My son, my wife is hiding something about our son. I'm certain of it. The furtive glances her protectiveness of Thrain is the way she avoids my inquiries. Of course, he is my son. Thrain can't do anything wrong. The brigands attack. The sky stained rose in the evening light. I sit silently at the edge of my camp, breathing in the fresh air. It's far from the comfort of great delving carved in the rock, but living on the surface has slightly grown on me. My serenity vanishes as an arrow flies past me, barely missing my cheek. I leap to my feet, grabbing my axe as my comrades run to my side, shouting. From the shadow of the hills, I watch as brigands run against us. I brace for impact, shouting orders to my followers. Erebor almost loud enough to crack rock, and I turn in awe and surprise. It is no beast past me runs Hawksbury. The brigands stop for a moment in shock, and I seize the moment my fellows, and I charge just as Hawksbury decapitates one of them. The brigands break into waves and pop, like a wave upon the rock. For some of it's too late. As soon as the attack begins, it's over. Let the brave Hawksbury be remembered. Sticks in the wheel. Slope, I hear, as Arna shouts out in panic. Soon, therefore, I hear a loud cracking sound, like the wood breaking or of my patience finally snapping. I step out of the mud to see the splintered remains of a wagon wheel. My wagon wheel! I'm sorry, my leader. It was my turn as lookout, and I fell asleep. Durin's axe were going to be late. Shove the supplies around. Won't be missed as we continue through. I come across the elegantly constructed, partially collapsed elven ruin, likely abandoned since the Second Age. Could this be some sort of tomb? From within, I see a glimmer of some unknown treasure. None but my party appear to be around, and surely whomever once owned the contents of this tomb would not cast judgment on me for taking what would be otherwise unused. I'm sure nobody would notice. I will not desecrate the tomb. Imma's teeth, even from this distance, we could feel the intense heat of the flames racing towards us. The wildfires moving faster than we are finding just enough fuel to burn rapaciously toward our convoy. Anyone and anything too slow to get away will be burnt alive, laden mules and lingering child alike. Worse yet, vast gouts of smoke billow out ahead of the blaze, occasionally washing over us to choke the life from the vulnerable, leaving my followers on the edge of breaking. Pray. Get the gear, go on, move. Proper planning. Danger quarrelsome lot. There's only one way to solve this. That's just basically them complaining. So they did something. Danger sticks in the wheel. Jeez, shuffle the thing again. Soothing the pain while I was at the market. With tortoise, her attention was caught by a criminal chained to the pillory. When the man begged for water, tortoise immediately promised to bring it and soon returned from a nearby well, letting the criminal drink from the cupped water. Without kindness, the world falls apart. Danger. This is fine. Traveling through the sometimes harsh environment has invigorating effects on at least my state of mind and vigor. As I glance over at Luvi, however, she does not appear to be doing quite as good. Her moment is labored, her breathing heavy, and spontaneous bursts of coughing ripple through her body. Develops pneumonia. Let's, Bobby, can you treat her? We're not gonna... Danger of fire at night. Put the fire out. Another one's... Okay. We were walking among the hills late in the day. The darkness comes suddenly, brought by the dark clouds above us. Then There is a distant loud rumble of thunder. Soon there is another, combined with a dazing flash of lightning. Another strike, brightly illuminating the area. The after image burned into my eyes. I blink and see where the lightning has struck. Now there is a quickly expanding brush fire. Put the fire out. The fire stopped, albeit at a cost. Travels with the cook. I don't think we're being unreasonable. Snarks the cook, who presumably drew the short straw and coming to speak with me, waves his arms dismissively at the surrounding terrain. There's plenty of farms here, even they're not great ones. It cannot be that hard for us to pause briefly and stock up on some of the little luxuries. We could probably find something. Your efforts are successful. All right. Well, we made it. So I'm going to stop it here. I know it wasn't the most exciting, but at least I think we got to hang out around here or something like that before the next part of the story happens, where he is supposed to die, but that's probably going to happen. So, but we'll see what happens. But all right. I hope you guys liked it. So in the meantime, have a good rest of the morning, afternoon, evening, night, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.